Okay, so this video tutorial is all about tables, and I'll show you the different ways of creating tables and a little bit about how to manipulate them. Tables are actually quite a useful thing to use in Word, so we're just going to look at the options. So firstly, under Insert and under Table, there's two sort of easy ways to create just a simple basic table. Firstly, it's by highlighting, and you can see it drawing on the screen as I'm highlighting. I just highlight however many rows and columns I want, and when I'm happy with it, just click my left mouse button and voila, there it is, nicely drawn. It's already selected. We're in the design and layout section, so I can choose a style for it if I desire. I can change shading options for the cell that I'm on. I can select by clicking up here, I can select the whole table and I get sort of table oriented stuff, or I can go up here and change things like border styles, change the pen color, change the thickness of the lines. All of these things are available through here, border painter, etc., shading, heaps and heaps of pre-styled formats. So lots and lots of things that you can do with just a simple table. The other thing you can do, I'll just take the pen off, just click somewhere off. You can see I've got my ruler up here, so it's easy. When I click in, you can see where the columns of each one end, so I can actually change the width of the columns up here, or I can really simply just, when I put my cursor over it, you can see that changes. I can actually resize the columns like so, just by dragging them when we get them, etc. So that's a simple table. The other way of creating a simple table, again using Insert, again using Table, this time just using Insert Table, and this, it comes up with a dialog box and I can tell it how many columns I want. So if you want more columns than actually what's on that little picture before, then you can type it in. So if I want, say, 20 columns and 5 rows, I can choose fixed column width, which is fine. I just click OK, and there's my table created. Not that I could really type anything in it because it's not big enough, but just shows that you can create tables nice and easily, resize them. If you want to insert and delete, again, once the table is selected, I can select the whole table, or I can just move off and move into the table. Once I'm in the table, then the table tools come up automatically, so I can have layouts. If I want to insert some rows, I can just, my mouse is a bit dodgy, insert, insert, insert. You can say insert, insert columns. I can merge cells, split cells, which I'll show you in a sec. Merging and splitting cells are done the same way in Access. So for example, if I highlight those and I choose merge cells, what happens is that becomes one, and these are two. So I've merged those two cells together, and it is now treated as one. So if I type like so, you can see it's just treated like one cell rather than two. So I can merge and I can split cells. So I can be here and I can split a cell, and I can split it into 2 columns instead of 1, and click OK, and then now it's split. So that's the opposite to merging. And again, that's all done with the tools here. So once it's selected, you get all the tools. The third way of creating a table, which is actually quite fun, is to actually use the Draw Table option. So I'm just going to click Draw Table, and you can see I get a little pen, and I might just start by just drawing the outside of it, like so. So that's how big my table is. It's picked the pen color up because when I was playing with pen before, I chose that pen color. But if I want to choose a different pen color, I can. So if I want, say, purple, because I like purple, and maybe a little bit smaller, and let's go with something funky like so. Now if I draw, and I'm literally just dragging with the left mouse button, drawing to create, whoops, I moved it then, created a table inside a table. I can create a table pretty much any shape I want just by drawing lines. If I want to get rid of lines, I just click on eraser, and I can get rid of lines. And get rid of that one because I didn't like that one. Very simple. Go back to drawing lines, go back to design, change my pen color to something else, and I can continue to draw lines. Maybe change from change to a say a double line, 1 point, maybe something like that. Whoops. Better draw them properly. Doesn't like that. Oh, because I'm on the border painter. Sorry, I went off the wrong thing. Went off my pen. Went on to border painter. Again, change the shading of the one that's selected. Really easy. And that's a really fun way of creating a table. You can resize it the same way. You can move things back and forward just by using your mouse. Very visual. And again, when you're in the table, you can also use the ruler. So that's how you create tables. Just the real simple method of creating tables. Again, this top one here is probably the most easiest way. Very visual and creates a nice uniform table. And if you want to just change one or two, you can do so easily. You're inside the table. You have the design options. You can set a header row and set banded rows. If you see when I click banded rows, you see that they're alternate colors. Can change first column on and off. Banded columns, which you can see then changes the styles to have grey down. Probably useful if you've got a large table and you're going to print it. By having the bandits, it's easy. Back to the old-fashioned dot matrix computer paper, if you remember those days. It just gives you a way of being able to follow your eye across a table nice and easily. So that is tables in a nutshell.